How are you, Chad?
Good. How are you?
Good. It's nice to meet you.
We're
I
here to create
was
some awards buzz, right?
There we go. Well, listen, I was at my first ever Sundance Film Festival in 2013 and saw this movie. This is Martin Bonner, which I really thought, I wouldn't say enjoyed is the wrong term, but I thought was very good. And then a couple years ago, I saw Little Fish.
Mhm.
And if I was to say, what would I expect next from Chad? This is not it. Do you feel like this is a departure from what you've done in the past?
Yes and no. I feel like it is by design that I try to make different types of movies. I like all kinds of movies, and I would just imagine myself being so bored if the process was similar each time. So that's definitely by design, but I do also feel like there's probably some common denominators, and I'm very drawn to movies where characters are put in some kind of outrageous or situations, but are just trying their best. Like they're just trying to do the right thing, and they're kind of there's a dignity and nobility to characters trying to do right and messing up, rather than there being an obvious villain or someone who's just there to kind of create conflict for conflict's sake.
Well, before I get into specific plot details, I feel like this is a festival film tendency is like this is the first film I saw at South by Southwest. Went in knowing absolutely nothing about it. I feel like there wasn't a lot out there. And then now, like the trailer, everything, it gives a lot more away. Do you wish people were seeing it without having a lot of knowledge beyond there's probably a threesome in there somewhere?
Sure. I mean, it's very gratifying to watch with an audience who does not know what's going to happen because they really do get surprised and audibly react to certain things. That said, I think that the trailer, I mean, it's a very effective way to market a movie by saying it's a comedy about a guy who has a threesome and two girls get pregnant. I mean, that's a good hook. That's a good log line. So I don't begrudge it, and I think there still are some surprises not given away in that log line and in the trailer because every time you think you kind of know where it's going, it kind of zags in another direction.
Absolutely. No, it's definitely a lot of fun. And I really enjoyed it. I know you didn't write the script, but do you feel like you know people like this beyond what you said before about just people put in crazy circumstances? Do you feel like these characters are very realistic in how they act, or it's heightened for cinematic enjoyment?
I do. I feel like I know them, and when I first read the script, I had just become a dad for the first time, and it's deeply related to each character's individual anxieties about becoming a parent. I mean, even though all three of them feel differently about it, I felt all those feelings combined. So I did relate to everybody, and we tried hard to make it seem like we were non-judgmental of any of their choices and actions because sometimes you might not agree with what they do, but that's up to each individual interpretation. I didn't want it to feel like it was ever obvious if I agreed or not with what the characters were doing. But I have empathy for all of them. Yeah.
I feel like they're also a pretty broad spectrum in terms of like Olivia and Jenny at complete opposite ends in terms of their personalities. Of the three cast members, who do you feel is most like their character in real life?
Ooh. Most like that character. I mean, probably Jabuki if we're expanding to the supporting cast. Um, but I think they all really do a good job of creating something that's a little bit different from themselves. But I mean, maybe Jonah. Jonah is in real life a very charming, kind, nice person trying to do the right thing. So, but he's British, and you would never know that if you just watched this movie. I think they all did a really good job of bringing elements of themselves, but creating something distinct.
What was it like getting to see the film at South by Southwest with that audience?
And you were there?
I was there in the Zach Theater, first film at the festival.
I mean, I felt like it couldn't have gone better. It felt like I paid everybody to be there. It was really fun, like great energy. I was worried it might be a little too early in the day, but yeah, it was really great. And Richard Linklater was there. What more can you ask for?
Well, based on your desire to always keep things a little bit different, I feel like we have a horror movie coming next in your filmography, maybe something sci-fi western, something very different from everything.
From your lips to God's ears. I really would love to do a horror movie, but nobody believes that I can. And I don't watch a lot of them. But yeah, I would love to do a horror or a thriller, and I'm trying to make that happen.
What else have you seen recently that's really impressing you?
I mean, I really loved Weapons, which I think is a good example of someone sneaking in a drama into the horror genre, but really because he knows exactly how to incorporate minimal horror elements in an effective and audience pleasing way. So and I loved The Naked Gun. I read the Naked Gun script many years ago and desperately wanted to try and do it, but I mean, I'm glad that they ended up with Akita because he did an amazing job. I thought it was a good summer. I mean, all the summer movies felt like they delivered what they were supposed to deliver for the most part. Mission Impossible and Weapons and Naked Gun, and so I've had a good summer.
It's awesome. In the run up to this movie, do you have something else coming up that actually is in the works for you?
I mean, we're trying. There's a something I wrote. It's actually a stoner comedy. We're trying to get going that would also star Ruby if it all works out. So maybe, hopefully, that could be next. But you never know.
Well, I do want to know you mentioning Ruby and then mentioning the accent is that I often try to know as little as possible. I like read about a film for festival, write something down, and then try to figure out everything. And I spent the entire movie, aside from enjoying it, trying to figure out where I knew Jonah and Ruby from. Because like Zoe, obviously know Zoe, but and then I was like, oh, okay, of course I knew. Like I had just seen them in other things, but I appreciate that you can get so lost in a film that you're not necessarily distracted, but just you can't figure out where are these people from. And so to have a film with two of those people out of your three leads, I think is pretty impressive and immersive.
Yeah, and Ruby's, I mean, she's amazing in Bottoms, but this is a very different part and equally,
So different.
yeah, equally amazing. So I'm happy to hear that.
Well, I hope everyone enjoys this film as much as I did, and good luck with whatever wild adventures Stoner Comedies are beyond in the future.
Thank you.